Last night, President Biden delivered his second State of the Union address. This was his first address before a divided Congress. Nicole D'Antonio has more on the key moments and the Republican response.
The President of the United States.
Before a new divided Congress.
Speaker, I don't want to ruin your reputation, but I look forward to working with you.
President Biden issued a plea for unity.
Power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere.
And he urged Congress to help him finish the job on a number of key priorities, starting with the economy.
Thanks to what you've all done, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. But we have more to do. But here at home, inflation is coming down.
As the parents of Tyree Nichols looked on, the president called on lawmakers to pass police reform.
Just as every cop, when they pin on that badge in the morning, has a right to be able to go home at night, so does everybody else out there. Our children have a right to come home safely.
President Biden also took a swipe at Republicans on entitlement programs, evoking boos.
Some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Social Security and Medicare is off the books now, right? They're not to be stopped.
On foreign policy, the president reiterated U.S. support for Ukraine and took aim at China, days after a suspected Chinese spy balloon was shot down.
If China threatens our sovereignty, we will act to protect our country, and we did.
The Biden administration seems more interested in woke fantasies than the hard reality Americans face every day.
In her GOP response, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders railed against what she called a left-wing culture war and said Republicans would hold the Biden administration accountable. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, we also heard from several local leaders following the State of the Union last night. So this morning, our Nicole Hernandez is joining us from the newsroom to tell us more on who we heard from. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, Channing. So Washington Governor Jay Inslee and Washington State Representative Kathy McMorris Rodgers took to Twitter last night, and an Idaho representative sent KREM 2 a statement. Here's a look at part of that statement from Congressman Mike Simpson. He criticized President Biden on his border policies and the state of the economy, pointing out high gas prices and inflation. He said, quote, "Despite these challenges, House Republicans are determined to deliver on our commitment to America and achieve the ideals for a truly strong nation," end quote. Washington State Representative Kathy McMorris Rodgers had similar takeaways from the address.
Well, much of it seemed to be far from reality in Eastern Washington, at least the people that I represent, that continue to struggle with the high inflation that is impacting the cost of gas and groceries and just making life harder for them. And in Eastern Washington, boy, fentanyl is a crisis. We are really a crisis spot for fentanyl, and I wanted to hear him say that he was going to take action that would really get fentanyl off the streets, like classifying it as an illegal substance.
So we also saw Governor Jay Inslee tweet during the State of the Union praising President Biden. He said, quote, "The president has achieved important strides on many fronts, including long overdue action on climate change," end quote. And Governor Inslee added that tweet later, giving a shout out to 2 State of the Union guests from Washington State. In the newsroom, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Now, we also learned the First Lady invited a Seattle mother and daughter to join her at the State of the Union. Kristen Christensen has been an advocate for military and veteran caregivers ever since her husband was injured in the Navy.
Being recognized as a caregiver and being able to, just being here for everybody else, like all of the other caregivers, like we are being recognized, people are paying attention.
Christensen says she was shocked to get the invite.